Sure.
Needs to be
Never is.
The weekend before that?
Yeah.
Right after the storm?
It's very good weekend for us.
Well, it's February, right? February was all rain. That's it. January wasn't too bad. February was. I mean, the season is not going to be what we budgeted, but it's
Season's
very
warming.
much in line now.
What's new is I'm fully retired.
So it's not bad.
No, I am retired.
Oh,
Problem is, that's why we make it more expensive. That's where it's all going.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, Mr. Harmon.
Thank you, sir.
How's Memphis? Is that on?
Yes, sorry.
No, leave it on. Leave it on. Leave it on. We have 4 minutes. Gotta go downstairs. Hello.
Looks scary. How much snow are we supposed to get? I know. Max, we're gonna get. I think we should have to wait tomorrow
Yeah, it's just something they come, it depends on the information. So he's,
Mr. Missouri.
Sir. What's going on?
yes.
Getting one of the comfortable chairs, huh?
When you get old.
You're reserved for special guests, and I guess you are a special guest.
The suit on?
Was that?
The suit on?
Yeah.
So yours is,
Mine, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You want to be an official tomorrow?
Yeah.
3 minutes, we'll be good to go. Wait a minute.
Randy from soccer. Yeah. Oh, no.
They can do.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, yeah, the rules have changed. Is that what you're referencing? Yes, the rules have changed.
I saw you outside, and I said,
Little dynamite? That's a little.
and we played 12.
In front of the slow.
My son has been building, many things. Candles, I don't know what
Was
it
it?
was.
And
Yeah.
I just remember,
He's actually pretty good at
you
it.
know, the little soccer. So good.
No, that's my son.
Well, oh, yeah. And then you call out. Up here.
What's the name of the board?
It's probably about an inch or. those, fire alarm.
And so, where is this?
Yeah, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, exactly. All right, 7 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order of the Brookfield Select Board for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. We'll get to you in just one sec. First meeting after the election, we need to do some just formal organization stuff real quick. First order is we need a chairman for next year. Are there any nominations for chairman of the select board for next year?
I'll make a nomination, Michael, to be chairman.
All right. Is there a second?
What was that? Say that again.
He's nominating me for chairman for the upcoming year.
Okay. I mean, that would be fine. My thought was just to, possibly mix it up a little and maybe have Hobie give it a.
I've got other commitments pre-approved.
Okay, then that's fine. Then,
I'll second the motion.
then I would say third.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next item is board representation. There are 3 positions on the select board: welfare officer, planning board, and conservation. I know you've been welfare for the last several years. Are you interested in doing that or something different?
I'll do whatever's available. I don't have the time for the planning board, but I do have time for the other
Okay. Do you have a preference? Does anybody have a preference? I'll stick with planning board.
Someone had approached me and asked about conservation committee, so I guess I would do work on that.
Do you want to stay with welfare
two. I'll
then?
say that.
Okay. All right. Those will be the positions for the board going forward. All right. Next item up, Mr. Buxton.
Okay. All right, so you guys had the
From Toyne.
yeah, there was one amendment sent out today, only because I had noticed an error. So we had talked right around election time, and I told you that the price increase had come through, and we were at about 906. So when we went back and looked at it, we got it down to where it is now. 884. Without, we don't feel at this point we can get it down any more than that without something major that we're gonna need some off the chart.
So with 884, are you getting what you need?
Yes. Yep, we're getting all the needs, a few wants, but not all the wants. So, we just kind of back, did some cutting of some stuff that we, the mayor had a duplicate on our existing engine 3. So, we thought we could drop that link phone system and stuff like that. We got one, we don't need 2. It would be nice to have 2 because, we get one truck out of town, but, we felt we didn't take anything off, really, if it was needed to be on a first response. And that's it.
And there's no change in the scheduled delivery.
We're hoping they're gonna do it a little faster, because I'm starting to hear that some of the manufacturers are coming in faster. But
Is this our representative?
this is, yeah, I should have said this is Jerry McKay from Joint. Jerry's actually a Rochester firefighter, just celebrated his 15th year. He's a rookie to me. So he's a representative from Joint. Just had him come in case you guys had any questions, that I couldn't answer.
Are there any parts off the existing equipment, or can you take the things that you can't get out of the truck, the druthers that you would like to have, the nice to have things, are they adaptable in the future? Can you acquire?
Most everything is, yes. A lot of times when you're getting new trucks, is you're also getting, you're getting new hose, you're getting new everything like that. We kind of all that off. That the hose we have, the stuff that I can buy with this year's budget, all that stuff. So,
Is there wiring electronics that have to be built in so it's more flexible in the future?
everything, The only thing we wouldn't be able to do is, if we could do it, it would cost some extras, is to put the foam system back in.
Yeah.
And it can be done, but do we need to at this time? No.
Just out of curiosity, what's the phone system?
And it's about $8,000. But we already have a foam system too, so,
Okay.
you know, the only time that ever comes in, you don't use foam that much, but the only time it would come into play is to say if we had a truck out of town, you know, doing something. Okay.
And this price increase was driven by chassis issues as well as other
It was
equipment?
mostly, I let him
Yeah,
speak.
it was mostly chassis, it's a combination of chassis and body.
Mhm.
Twain doesn't build their own chassis, they're bought by Spartan, from Spartan, sorry. And approximately 75% of the increase was from the chassis. The other 25% was from the body. As you guys know, it's not like a Ford or Chevy, they buy the products such as the pumps, the water tanks, the pressure governors, the valves, they're all bought from third parties.
Yep.
And the beginning of the year is normally when you have price increases. And unfortunately, that's how it rolls around. You know, the last price we given was the end of December. And within that time span, the price increases that come through, and that's what it ended up coming to.
Now, obviously with a long lead time, are we gonna face this issue again next year?
No. No. The only, when you purchase it, when you sign the contract, it locks the pricing. The only way that would change is if a product is discontinued, such as if they stopped building the motor or transmission or something that's unforeseen that they can't overcome, yes.
Okay.
And we did put a contingency line in there with some money. If that contingency is not used, it's refunded back to the town.
No, we appreciate that.
And that contingency's in the 84?
Yes, it's 20,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, just one other thing is getting this ordered, is we can stay with the current motor and transmission configuration. If we were to wait till next year, we're guaranteed to go into the new, what's it,
The new Cummins.
the new Cummins engine
Yes.
and transmission, which will be an added extra $55,000 on that, plus a possible, beginning of the year increase too.
So the net increase now that we're looking at is 96?
No, we came down from 96.
I'm sorry.
84, 70. Yeah.
No, the net increase that we're
Oh, the
voting
day before we talked about.
Yeah.
70. Well, we still 11 this.
Okay.
70,000.
So, and that's gonna be due that remaining balance will be due on delivery. So, in effect, what's that?
Which is 2 years.
Yes, I mean, I doubt it's gonna kind of.
We would hope it would be sooner, but that's the time they have to put on it, just to make sure it does get delivered within that time span.
Okay, so then the question becomes, we have at least some time to figure out how we're dealing with
Currently, right now, in capital reserve, at 514, plus the 50 that was voted in next year.
Right.
And,
And the
most likely
210 was
50
approved.
after that.
The 210 was approved.
Right. So we're still probably 40 shy, but I would expect that 514,000, 600,000 will be
So, I mean,
50 or 60,000.
Well, if interest rates stay high. No, I understand. Well, obviously, this will be something that we need to address come the fall, when we're looking at the budget, potential warrants, to figure out how to patch this hole at some point.
So am I getting this right, we're about 50K short?
Somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, assuming that the warrant article for the 50 next year passes,
Yeah.
which was part of the
Correct.
plan.
Yeah, okay.
So,
And the other thing is we're gonna be selling engine one
mhm.
and engine two, so hopefully some of that money will come back.
Right, and we talked about that in the last.
What do you say
conversation.
is the one we can't sell for until I get the.
Right.
What are you realistically expecting for those two? 10?
I would think, I've been looking around and talking to people, I think engine two would go for approximately 15,000. Approximately, that could be 5 high, 5 low.
Mhm.
And engine one
just to think for next year, if we're gonna sell those engines, we probably need a warrant article to apply those proceeds to this purchase. Because otherwise, those funds will just go back into the general fund, and we can't expend without a vote of the town.
Right.
So just think about that as we go through the warrant article process. Okay. Other questions?
No, sir.
All right, we're gonna have to sign this purchase, this final purchase agreement.
If we're all in agreement, we need 2 copies for.
Oh, yeah, yes, signature copies?
Yeah, signature copies.
I'll make a motion to approve the apparatus purchase agreement provided for us to acquire the fire truck from Toy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We're just on the bond. It looks like you need one signature.
You just need one signature, or you can just put
Yep.
all three.
Okay.
Under second party's registered name?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
What color the doors would be?
Purple.
The inside or the outside?
The outside. I got some.
Not white. This is actually a little bit different from the truck. This is a black over red truck versus the white over red.
Jeff, who's gonna buy the fire?
Excuse me?
Who's gonna buy the old fire?
Well, you put them out to brokers, and believe it or not, you see them, they, a lot of times they ship them to the islands.
Oh,
So, you know, I'm just gonna throw it out to 2 or 3 brokers, and whatever they offer. You know, I mean, the last truck we sold, I went to a broker, we got like $55,000 or $60,000 for it.
pretty good.
Yeah, with the,
Let me see that one. I just forgot to put the title, it asked for the title.
with the fire trucks getting so expensive, there's actually a good used market. There are a lot of smaller towns and cities that look for used trucks.
Wonder why? And this,
That's
that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, chief.
I have one other question for you guys.
Yeah.
We do have a, certificate of occupancy coming up for Fern Farm
Okay.
in May.
Yep.
Just want to know,
Um,
we don't have to have an answer now, that's something to think about.
Well, I think our legal counsel was talking to them about, they made a request to the town on a structure, and they're looking for the town to provide confirmation that the structure falls under ordinance 1031, which is exempt structures. Our legal counsel is in discussions with them about that amongst other matters, so I don't have an answer for you how
Okay.
we're going to approach that. Come May, with a notice of decision and a bunch of timetables, we'll have to make sure that they're, agreeing to the notice and complying with the terms that they agreed to. So, but until we hear back from legal counsel, I think it's an open-ended.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect.
All right, next up, celebration, flagpoles, and there's another item here too for warrant articles. Yep.
I'd like to request that the select board vote to approve the transfer of the I'd like to request that the select board approve the transfer of the $10,000 raised in the warrant articles in the 2 previous years since this last election. So 5,000 has been moved over, but there's 10,000 left to move over to expend for the 175th.
So yeah, we're agents of that fund, so requires us to release those funds. This to cover expenses for this year's 175th, correct? Any questions from the board? No? I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of the $10,000 from the trust funds to the operating fund to award the celebration committee for the 175th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
The second part of that
wait a minute, wait, that's, there is one here. Pole location plan? Yeah. And the decorative pole attachment, yeah. Yep.
We've been talking about trying to fund getting the double hung banners on select poles, not all the poles. We've noted 12 throughout the town, going from the Irving down around Swampscott to the corner, at the corner of Pelton. So there's 12 locations. The other locations would remain flags, American flags, but those locations that we've designated, there's a design that's much like the license plate design that we did, only he's adjusted it to be that pole banner that we'd like to hang. But Eversource is asking that not only do we designate which poles, which I've done, I've noted them on that map, but that we indemnify the pole, right?
Identifying Eversource from if there's any damage from the pole that they're not liable and the town is.
So they're asking.
So the town is assuming that liability. Which is why we need to have a discussion before the board to make sure that we're comfortable with assuming that's potential liability if something goes wrong with it.
Any questions about it? It's, I don't know what to say. We've been doing these polls for, the flags forever. We very often have to change out the brackets, which Jeff does regularly, Michael, Lynn, they all, depending on who's out there. These ones are not made for, the hardware isn't actually made for telephone poles, it's made for light posts. So what we would have to do is get strapping that would allow us to do it on the telephone poles, which is not, a big deal, but it is different than other towns we would see on the light posts quite,
And we as a town is responsible for mounting the hardware.
yeah. It just says in the past.
It's, again, it's a, there's electric wires up there.
Right. And there's, regulations 10 feet from the wire, obviously you have to follow those.
Okay. Any other questions?
And who's mounting those? The volunteers are putting those up?
I guess it is. We spent a weekend.
Real suckers.
And we are going to try and fund those individually. We're going to put an ask out for people that would like to buy a flag, and we're going to buy them outside of the budget. We're going to do that through the flag company that we've identified.
Is there room for putting some kind of a sponsorship on any of them, or no?
We talked about that. Wynn really did quite a lot of work on these, so I can actually leave it to him, but it just really takes away from the whole thing. They're not that large to start with, we don't have a huge budget, so to add that in is.
Might cheese it up a little.
I thought originally it might be nice, but I don't know that it would be.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
We want to reuse them, we can reuse them too,
Yeah.
so.
Only
They're
one's
not
gonna
gonna
say 175th, the one right out front here, right by the sign pole, is gonna have the 175th logo, and the rest are all gonna just, it's gonna have the Bellamy Eagle with 1649, and again, it's.
1849?
Boy, she's Asian.
It just depends on the sentence, what you remember, right? Anyway,
We got
with the year and Newfields at the top. But they're nice, they'd definitely be able to be used for years to come. And also, if we'd like to use them for other holidays, like we have the 4 holiday flags that have their day, I think. So we could switch out and get some new holiday flags and use those poles. But again, there's only 12, it's not like we're doing the street.
I'm looking for the indemnity language here.
Indemnification language is, what is it there? There's insurance recovery coverage requirements, and section 10, indemnification.
So don't we already have that?
Based on the flags?
This agreement, well, no, because these are different pole attachments,
Okay.
right?
See, because I only go page 1 and then 2 and then 13.
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, it's page 10 on the indemnification, if you want to take a look. So yeah, we have an existing agreement just for the existing, flag drivers that we have.
Okay.
This is a little more detailed. As Amy mentioned, the agreement has some specific restrictions about where on the pole they can be put, especially because these are typically done higher and therefore closer to the electric wires. And so there's, specific indemnification clause here. Lightning strikes and it comes down through the bracket, somebody gets hit. Eversource doesn't want to be blamed for having the bracket, which may have been whatever may happen, right? So they want us to take responsibility. That's why it's before them. Any other questions about the pole attachment agreement with Eversource for the banners?
No, I've read it, I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion to approve the pole attachment agreement.
Second.
Second by Hobie. All in favor? Aye. Great. I'll take care of that. It's just one signature on that. While we're sitting on polls, there's a poll location request from Eversource. Should be in your packet. Petition and pole license. Public Service Company is requesting to license one pole on Mast Road. I don't know if this was in it. I was unaware of this, but it came up, I think.
Okay.
Take a quick look at that. See if you have any questions.
What does that entail?
They're requesting the ability to basically put in a new pole on that.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. I'm not sure why it wasn't in there, but take a quick look. While we're doing that, this is to have you as a signer on the account for bills and payroll.
Okay.
To file with Citizens Bank. If you can sign that, and we'll get everybody else to sign as well. You already signed it. I'll make a motion to approve the poll.
I missed this. Sorry.
The poll location, the poll license, I'll make a motion to accept and sign.
Second.
Second by Hobie. All in favor? Aye.
So we're going to be a long meeting.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk a lot.
That's just for reapproval of your signature checks. Thank you, sir. That's good. All right. So, next up on the agenda, Bill Meserve.
So, this is, I think, the third month we've talked about this. We've got to sign this letter.
Yep.
So, Mark, just for your information, we've been doing a lot of stormwater work for years in town, preparing for it by regulation. We signed a Great Bay Zoning permit as a town like 3 years ago. We were coming along. We just passed the third year. It's a 5-year contract. So EPA has put in a lot of voluntary regulations or reporting, and we've been doing them. So they sent out a letter. I recommend you read it. It was December 19, 2023, and it was a letter to Epping because the Conservation Law Foundation wanted to terminate their discharge permit at the plant. Kind of come down hard on it. And in that letter, they kind of spell out certain things. They mentioned new fields. So I decided for the town to write a letter that's a summary of where we're at, what we've done historically. I think everything we think we're in good shape, and it's just to do that reporting. And it's part of this ongoing things that EPA likes to see you do. Sue said this is like when I mentioned the brochures and they will hand out the septics.
Yeah.
We're getting a pet waste one together. But if anybody wants to learn more, I think read that letter and then you can read the summary Sue was just down there looking at it, saying, I didn't know you could do all this stuff. So I think that would just sit on downstairs and they need to paint it out, or let people take it.
And that's the stuff that's referenced in the letter, the
Yeah.
table of
So-
activities for the town, that
Right.
the town will be continuing to
This
visit.
is the 11 March one.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
You know, and I gave Mike some people to CC it to DES.
Right.
You know, maybe Ray, people,
The more the merrier.
the boy, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that letter. Hobie and I, this was voted on at the last meeting, but we thought we'd hold off. You can hang on to that, and
Yeah.
there's 3 copies, so if you want to read that tonight, and if you're good with it, sign it, and just drop it off at town hall, that'd be perfect. I don't know if you have any questions, well, Bill's here though, since he's the expert on all of this.
I had just kind of taken a quick look at this. It was something about a runoff with Newfields Elementary School.
Yeah.
And this could be for another conversation, but I was thinking that, are there some grants available to kind of help mitigate, if we're spending any kind of money on this kind of stuff, are there grants available that we could look into to make sure that we're not getting hit with those types of, you must do this, and then we have to shell out the money locally.
Well, we do have 2 grants going. We're doing rain gardens here at Town Hall, at the library, that possibly will go into construction this fall. We're doing a pretty good sized drainage project over on Summer and Pleasant Street. Part of that picks up drainage from the school, what runs off there now, runs off from the fire station. This is all explained in this letter. We need to go show EPA where we're addressing municipal facilities.
Okay.
It did surprise me when I heard and saw what the school is planning and that they haven't planted any grass, because I think they should.
Yeah.
Probably safety ones, you know, I think they definitely should, so. That is, the school is highlighted as the largest impervious surface in town. So we're trying to address as much as we can.
Right.
So-
Okay.
But that project's being driven by the SAU.
But they're not paying for it.
Well, at the end of the day, it has to come before the taxpayers, but it comes to the taxpayers on the SAU ballot. It's not a town ballot item.
I guess it would just make sense to me that they should check out, there's a lot of.
I don't disagree with you,
Sure.
but that's not the train that we're driving. I just want to make sure we're clear about that.
Are they cognizant of this? School board?
Is the school board?
cognizant of this?
I don't know, I would hope so. There's some experienced people at the SAU that know all about this. I had a conversation with their engineer, and the design seems to be pretty good. There's a retention pond at the entrance area. They're basically doing a small pond there, and they're doing a larger, basically under the proposal, it's a larger containment treatment under the parking lot that they're going to plan on doing
And that-
for stormwater.
And that's as the facility exists now, the footprint that they have now, not including this $1.8 million project.
No, that's the $1.8 million project. Because if they pave, the issue becomes, assuming they go forward with the project and they pave that open grass area next to the school,
There's a runoff issue,
they now have to contain stormwater and treat.
which is not.
And under the existing state guidelines, basically, you're not allowed to let anything run off the site anymore. And so they have that retention pond, and they have the underground under the parking lot. In my conversations with their engineer, I talked to him on Bill's recommendation to see if there's anything that they're changing with respect to the existing runoff that would impact our Summer Street, Pleasant Street project for stormwater. And as he laid out and showed me, that based on all their calculations, these 2 elements would basically keep any additional stormwater from running off the property, so that we don't now have to adjust our Pleasant Street Summer Street project to account for anything there. But that's all part of that larger project.
So what I'm seeing here is a lack of bifurcation of the issue, because that project started, that whole thing at the school started out as addressing the safety issues with crosswalk. And now it sounds like we're talking about the water runoff issues as if this project was gonna go through with the school. And I think they need to be stovepiped and address it so that if this does not go through, and I can wager that there's probably some real pucker factor on $1.8 or $2 million in the budget next year. And then are we addressing that in either direction, Bill, so that if it doesn't go through, or it does?
If it doesn't go through, our existing plans will address the
Okay,
current, yeah.
that was not.
Yeah. Our existing plans address the current runoff from the school and the fire station and everything else coming down 87.
I just don't want to see us go.
The key was that Bill raised was, if they do the parking lot, is there going to be, because it's more impervious surface, is there going to be more runoff that the town now has to address? And the answer was no, because of the containment and the pond that they're having up front. It should address all the runoff. Any additional runoff will be addressed on site.
Okay, I just wanted to make that
Yeah.
clear so there's no misperception.
No.
One, well, we're kind of looking at this going forward, and now I just want to make sure.
No. The town, when we went forward with the grant for the town and the planning of the Summer Street, Pleasant Street, it was totally to address the existing situation and the runoff that we're getting coming down the state highway. Even though the state's really responsible for that, we're addressing that. And so if they don't do this project, we're still good. If they do the project, according to their numbers from their engineer, we're still good.
What about the safety issue that precipitated this whole thing?
Whole other issue that,
It's not tied in?
that's not tied into the stormwater.
We just want to make sure when we do our engineering, we do it right.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And that rolls into the letter there, Mark. And you know, you'll see references to the fire station, the school, and Route 87, Pleasant Street, Summer Street, that's all referenced in there as well. So, nothing will change with respect to that, whether they go forward with the project or not.
So we've got multiple contingency plans here, Bill.
At least from a stormwater standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got. And then I've got a question for you as we wrap up.
Okay.
Where are we at on the town hall project as far as that goes?
It's kind of going slow through the state because we have to get a waiver from what they call the basis of design report, which it's been dragging on for about 4 or 5 months. And you know, I think they're kind of understaffed, but, and then our focus has been, let's get Summer and Pleasant going, which I wanted to ask tonight. We're ready to roll with that, right?
So I'll reach out to Hoyle Tanner to get the pricing schedule and everything else, but we should be good to go as soon as we get the information back from them.
Timeframe?
I would expect this month.
Yeah, and then we're shooting construction spring of next year,
Of 25.
25.
Well, that's just on here, right?
That's just what?
That's just for town hall.
Town hall, we're looking, hopefully we can get it done this fall.
Yeah.
Planting
The
season.
town hall, yeah.
Town hall and library.
Well, the library, as we discussed, we need to see drawings before we permit anything to that.
Need to be what?
Drawings, illustrations, there was no plan in that last time. So the board said.
Or isn't that just a preliminary, let's see?
And it's like, what do you think? But there was a lot of open questions we hadn't gotten the answer to, so before we start, we have to have that.
Did you got the design drawings? Probably.
We have not seen
Right.
anything, nothing.
I'll send it to you.
All right. So, Mark, you have that letter, and you're good with that. If you have questions.
I can take this and.
Oh yeah, take it home. Take it home with you. Just bring it back. Signed or unsigned. All right. Bill, thank you. Appreciate it.
I know I'm super excited when Summer Street's finally getting fixed.
Of course.
Next up, Beaver Dams Conservation Commission.
Speaking water along the way.
Yes, exactly.
They're happy little creatures.
So this is relative to the rail trail between Holmes Mill and 87.
Yep.
Big wetland, beavers doing their thing. They build dams, the wetland floods, it's flooding the rail trail. At some point in December, somebody, probably an RCS, came through and took
I'm sorry, who do you think it was?
We think it was MRCS National.
Oh, okay.
Conservation Service.
Yeah.
They do the rail trail maintenance.
Okay, so,
I actually don't know for sure. Nobody has said yes, we do.
and along these lines, so just to clarify, I was talking to Rails and Trails about a different issue, and he said, let me ask you something, because correspondence was going back and forth, you guys sent the letter, and he said, you know, one thing to note is that there's a safety issue from their perspective, from Rails and Trails, and that the duty of care statutes could kick in, which I said, well, that's potential liability for the town, so we probably should have a discussion. So thank you very much for coming in to talk about it. But I asked him as a follow-up after the email traffic back and forth, and I think Jeff, you forwarded the letter that the commission signed. I asked him, does he know who did this and can he find out? This is Rennie Craig. And I haven't received anything back. And what's that?
That was our first course of action, to simply ask who did this. We never got an answer.
No, and it's still a mystery. And I think it's important that we find out, if anything, so that you guys can be aware. But obviously there are state statutes involved about who can and cannot do this. If it's the government agencies, they have a lot more leeway than if it's a private citizen or a private organization.
And that's really why we wrote to DES.
Yep.
So we felt like there are statutes about beaver dams, can't be found, it's an empty property, and the draining of the wetland, we thought that might be a wetland impact, but it's not as clear cut as like, so we wrote to DES.
Yep.
I think you saw his response was kind of like, it doesn't seem like they think that there is a wetlands impact that's under their jurisdiction. So now we have a whole bunch of federal agencies who say it's not their jurisdiction.
Nobody wants to take responsibility.
But the gist is, beavers are gonna keep building.
Mm-hmm.
The railroad's gonna keep letting us to keep doing something. So one of the things we've been talking about is, are there better ways of managing that?
Mm-hmm.
And there are these things that you basically do what you do with pipe and beaver dam. So.
Where they were?
It drains out.
Like a culvert to the beaver dam?
It's called a beaver receiver.
Yeah.
They have a pipe and beaver
I just
dam.
couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, and the beavers, apparently, I actually asked around about this, because it sounded improbable, the beavers actually don't figure it out. The pipe is long enough so that they just keep building up the dam happily, and the water just keeps going through.
So it's not like a culvert, it's like a longer pipe?
It's like.
So the discharge is further away from the lodge?
Right.
I see.
Right, and the beavers don't notice it because the pipe is long, they're fixated on their dam.
Plus an elevation issue with the pipe too.
It's low, so it's underneath the water. They apparently don't notice it. So the Concom is interested in potentially having a conversation about what it would cost, who would do that. But in order to do that, we need to know who's doing the.
Exactly. Yep.
So we're not in any way saying that nothing should be done, but we think there's a better solution than going out there and bulldozing beaver dams and drinking wetlands.
Somebody brought an excavator in, did they not?
Somebody what?
Somebody brought an excavator in?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, again.
But nobody knows who.
Nobody saw that.
In the middle of the night? A black excavator?
It's dark out there at night.
Yeah, I mean, there are big tire tracks, and it was a significant, it's not like somebody just moved sticks around. And the beavers, I came out, I was asked about a week later and take those pictures, and they were already, doing their thing. And I believe, I've heard that it's flooding again now, I'm sure it'll be flooding.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Fish and Wildlife, do they play a part in that?
they were contacted, and they kind of said, if the beavers are damaging private property, then.
They don't have any suggestions on how to,
No, the only suggestions we got is this beaver pipe thing.
Mhm.
So I think.
I think we're the ones who brought it up.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I think, and we haven't met the commission since we got that letter, but I think our path forward is to try and have a conversation. I mean, it'd be really helpful to know what's going on. So if you guys.
Without a doubt. No. And I'll keep making inquiries as well. Again, the one thing that jumped out at me was, if the town is aware that this is potentially causing a safety issue, and we ignore it, then we're creating liability under the duty of care statutes in the state. So I'm not saying that we go out and bulldoze and address it, that's not what we're saying, but we need to be proactive in recognizing it and then coming up with a solution. So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, I'd say we all agree, nobody
Yeah,
wants, nobody
great.
wants to really go flooded, people
Yep.
run over, but we also don't really want people with excavators in the dead night.
Of course.
We have nature, so.
Right.
Are there butters that are cognizant of this and might have a vested interest in seeing the dam?
Who are the abutters out there? Fish and Game is actually one of the
Don't
abutters.
they own the whole area?
No. Selt is on the north side of the trail, right?
Well, I mean, it's conservation land, 90% of it, is it not?
And
Some of
fi-
it, some of it was private land, but I don't remember.
Wasn't it in the market?
Well,
Oh.
No, this is by the rail trail, right?
Yeah, it's by the rail trail, I can't remember.
So it would be the Piscataqua Greenway north of the trail.
Yeah.
And then I know, oh no, we're talking between Halls Mill and 87?
Right,
Yeah.
No, the Fish and Game is on the other side of Halls Mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the chick property.
It would be the Roosevelts, the Chick property, the Roosevelts, the Gerards, to the intersection. Yeah.
And I think it was right before Gerard's is where the second dam was, so it's that stream. So
Okay.
one possibility, one thought is to contact those landowners, but the work was very close to the rail trail. So it is probably, but we also don't know what the rail trails,
Right away?
right away is.
It's basically the rail plus a few feet on either side. I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
it's not 25 feet.
So if they were moving excavators around people's private property, those people should know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, we could contact them and at least let them know.
Do you guys want to do that? Do you want the board to?
You want to do that?
I have no problem doing that, maybe we wait and see if we get a response
Sure.
on our letter before we start.
In terms of finding out who did it? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so.
That's fine.
We kind of have no information.
Great. No, again, I just wanted to make sure that you guys are on the same page as us and making sure that the board is at least, or the town is at least recognizing that there's a problem and trying to address it so that there's not an issue further on. And the last thing we want is a big puddle and snowmobile or hydroplanes and then we got an issue. Okay?
Gotta have snow.
No, that's a requirement. Any other questions on this issue? Yeah?
In terms of drainage, going back to Bill, are you guys aware of something going on with the sewer down next to George's house? With Brian Kempstein? Doing some work
No,
down
is it-
there early this spring?
What kind of work was he doing?
I don't know, George came out and said, hey, we're gonna dig up this whole area of the water and sewer department. You know, right by the pump house?
Yeah, on the access road to the land?
Yeah.
And my guess is he's doing it for water and sewer. Again, remember, water and sewer is not part of the town.
I know, I just wondered if you knew about it,
No.
because Brian kept saying,
No,
I don't know if Brody didn't work or not.
I mean, he's probably doing it as a contract to the water and sewer, as
Okay.
opposed to as a road aid.
You don't know about
Nope,
it? All right.
I did not.
Curious about
I don't know,
that.
have you heard anything about that? No? All right. Anything else about beaver dams? No? Excellent. All right, working through the more mundane stuff that we have. We have a veteran exemption request. One sec here, let me just see. That's a fire truck. We did that. Conservation Commission, beaver dams, right? So there's an application for an exemption, should be in your packet. If you guys want to take a look at this, this is a veteran's tax credit request, exemption request. That one, right there, yep. You'll get comfortable with recognizing forms.
Yeah, okay. And essentially, they're looking for,
They're looking for approval that they can receive the veterans tax credit that the town provides.
would be any reason not to?
Unless there was something odd in the application. For the most part, these are fairly standard. If there's questions about their service, if there's questions about their veteran status, that might raise a red flag.
You don't want to square away with me.
Yeah, again, it's a pretty standard form, but anybody, whether it's a veteran or, there's sometimes abatement requests that we're actually gonna be dealing with, or, seniors, will get standard, exemption requests. These are kind of the forms that we'll be utilizing. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the application for the Veterans Tax Credit Performance. Is there a second?
Aye.
Second by Mark, all in favor? Aye. Today is April 2. Signature, printed name and date. Yep. All right. Sir, that's the approval to release the funds that we voted on earlier for celebration. Second page. Thank you. The Zorvino Vineyard item, Keisha, this is just, you're just notifying us, correct?
Yes.
There's nothing that we need to do, so
No.
just a notice for the general public that May 15th, town offices will be closed for a training session that both Sue and Keisha, as town clerk and deputy clerk, will be attending. So that's just a general notice. All right. So we received a thank you letter from Aiden Kennison, thanking the town for supporting his Eagle Scout project. Aiden basically built the canoe and kayak rack down at the landing, and if you've seen it, it's awesome. It can hold, I don't know, what, 20 kayaks and canoes, which is great. Before we were basically using stumps and laying them on the ground. This is a much nicer addition to the landing down there. I wrote a letter of thanks. Hopefully you guys had a chance to look at that and forward. This is circulated it last week. I'll make a motion to approve and sign that letter to Aiden, giving our town's thanks to his efforts and the work in improving the town in general.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Oh, is that just... Sir? Next up, we have an abatement request for a residence on Bassett Lane. It should be in your packet. There is a response from, thank you, from Rod Wood, the town assessor, in evaluating the abatement request. As he notes, the subject building has comparable properties, both assessed higher and lower than the property, the specific property. And the abatement application, I think, is behind.
Yes.
Should be at the back of your packet. With Rod Wood's recommendation that we do not approve this abatement. If you want to take a look at that. So it depends upon the abatement request. Sometimes there are abatement requests stating that, for example, they removed a shed that had been impacting their tax card, and therefore they're requesting an abatement to reflect that change. Sometimes it's our houses were reassessed, and we think that the reassessment value is incorrect, which is basically what this is. The town assessor, under contract with the town, basically reviews these and makes a recommendation. Sometimes the recommendations are, yes, this person deserves an abatement. Some of them, like this, are a recommendation that the town deny the abatement. At the end of the day, it is a decision of the board whether to grant the abatements themselves. So if you think about, if there's a request to, let's say the resident feels that their assessment is $50,000 over, and is requesting an abatement to properly reflect that. Our current tax rate is approximately $16. So you're talking about $800 a year of property tax reflected in that abatement. That gives you an idea of the number.
Yeah.
Just a minute, please. Mike.
Of course, of course.
So it's essentially saying this house has a higher value, so no brainer that it would not get the abatement.
That's, in essence, what he's saying is they were both higher and lower in the neighborhood, and that in consideration of all the properties that he finds is comparable, he doesn't feel like the abatement is appropriate, and he's making a recommendation of denial.
I'm all set.
You're okay? Any questions? Any concerns?
No.
All right, I will make a motion to agree with our assessor in denying the abatement request for the property in front of us.
Second.
Second by Hobie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Today's date is, oh.
You're all being so patient, which is
You want a rowdy crowd, you'll get a Probably not this crowd.
I'll stir it up next time.
Hancock. And you can look at, that's the standard form. We have to indicate denial here, and then make a sign. Thank you. There you go. As a follow-up, there was a request made after our last meeting before the elections, but before we were able to have a Board of the Selectmen's meeting, requesting a rental of the town hall. Normally, these are required to be done in public session. Given the timing and recognizing that the availability of the other select board members was not going to happen until after the date of request, we had a quick conversation via email to approve the rental of Town Hall on March 24th, and did that electronically. Now, as part of our procedures, when this occurs outside a meeting, we will have a formal discussion of it in public meeting. In addition, the email chain is going to be attached to the minutes of this meeting to reflect exactly what was discussed outside of the formal meeting of the select board. So with that, I will make a motion to formally approve in public meeting the town hall rental agreement for the celebration of Rice of Life for Richard Knoll that took place on March 24th. Unless you guys have any other comments on that. Again, we kind of went back and forth. Is there a second for that? Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. No, it sounds procedure and bureaucratic, but there's a way to make sure that we're transparent. Okay. All right. There's a stack of appointments that we have. I know you probably want to review these. I want to review these. We have a meeting next Tuesday. So I'm going to recommend that we take the stack home. We can all review them, and then we can address them at the next meeting, if that's okay with you guys.
My eyes make it through the clips.
Don't stare at the sun, Toby. Don't stare at the sun. Oh. So yeah, we have a meeting next Tuesday that's already on the schedule, so we'll address those formally there. That'll also give you time to run through the stack. Let's see. Okay. Let me just see here. I don't think I have any other outstanding items here. So there were some open items that we have. The live streaming policy that Mike Kessler was putting together, do you know if he ever finalized that?
He did finalize it, so it's in the budget. He drafted the guidance document, and I believe the final draft was completed.
Okay.
He was going to be responsible for training for the planning board, Concom, and the ZBA. And the whole objective on this mark was to greater visibility and transparency, so that everybody in town could be cognizant of what was transpiring. We voted the money, I think it was $3,000.
Additional money for town hall streaming.
Yeah, so they're just waiting
For the camera?
the camera and
It's actually for the streaming service.
Oh.
We have the camera and the hardware for the most part, the encoder, but the service that we had basically allowed 2 or 3 meetings a month, which was mostly the select board. That's the most important meeting to do. The request was made though to increase that to allow us to do basically all the meetings,
all the public meetings,
commissions, boards, and everything else.
And then it's locked.
Everything, it is actually logged as it happens. So as soon as this meeting is done, this video is archived on the Town House Streaming's website, so anybody can go back and look at them. Yes?
Would that include any, it's, what I've put online, it's just hard to hear. Would that include any sort of like wireless microphone?
One of the things that we looked into very seriously was we had some tech reps come in, and they proposed some different systems that we tried there for 2 meetings, I think it was. The audio was exceptional. The video was much more better. The problem was it was going to cost us $6,000 or $7,000. And with the budget issues we've had in the past year trying to keep the tax rate down, we postponed it. I would like to address it again for the next year's budget, because I think, we have the acoustics in this room are terrible.
It's this room, right? The funny thing is, when we were in that room, acoustics are great, because it's a small room and everybody can hear.
But that's something that's on the future projects. Because I've been pushing this because I think it's important that everybody deal with it.
Well, if you can couple the minutes with the video, at least that would make it.
Right, and both of those are available online for anybody who
You
wants
have
it.
it lined up next to each other.
In any case, that's because I've gotten a lot of questions from folks, and some of them, where they're pointed, because they haven't either been to the meetings, or they haven't viewed what's archived, or they haven't read the minutes.
Yeah.
So that would preclude some of the questions that are repetitive or not an educated inquiry.
So do you want to take responsibility for meeting with the boards and
No,
showing?
because that's way above my pay grade.
Okay.
Mark, would you like to take that?
And what does that entail?
Just teach it, just making sure the letters out and showing folks how to work the system.
Okay, if you, I'd have to be shown.
Yeah, we'll show you, and then
Yeah.
you can basically, work your way through the.
I think.
It'll be, actually, to be honest, it'll be good for you to meet all the boards anyways.
Yeah, I think it would be a smart idea to kind of put this out there and say, as you just mentioned, but in light of the request to be more transparent, the select board has now instituted a new program to have the minutes and video made available for all meetings, et cetera, et cetera.
And that'll be easily facilitated with the new internet system, or the email system, where instead of when Sue had to send out 300 at a time, now she can do one blast.
Yeah.
And it would take her, teacher one would take her half a day to get them out, or you a half a day? Yeah, to get all the emails out.
Yeah.
So now we do it in one shot, so we got that taken care of.
Okay.
So,
All right, at some point maybe before the next meeting, if you come in a little early, I'll go over basically how that works, what needs to be done, and then, it's not rocket science. So,
Okay.
and then, you can talk to the boards to.
Show
basically,
them.
yeah, exactly, come in.
I'm not setting up each one.
No.
for every meeting.
No, they'll be responsible to do it.
Okay.
Because it'll be policy for all boards.
Good. Okay.
All right, other items. So, just as a informative, as we talked about in the last meeting, Eversource is going to be tree trimming along roads here in town, especially Bald Hill is a main focus, and because Bald Hill is a, what do they call it? Scenic, thank you. It's a scenic road. It's been designated as a scenic road. I met with the Eversource representative, and we basically drove around town checking on all the roads and looking at trees that are going to be taken down. If you look around town, there's a lot of trees with blue and white checked. Some of them are, marked with some other colors. But they'll be doing that trimming, presumably. It's kind of ongoing, depending upon crew availability. But they'll be doing that over April, so just to make everybody in town aware, if a tree's coming down in front of your house, it's there's a reason for it. And they've notified all the landowners, most of them know this. We actually added a couple some requests that we had come in to the town. Hey, there's a dying tree in front of my house that probably needs to come down because of the power lines. So just to make everybody aware, that should be going on over the next month or so. It'll take them about a month or so to go around town and do it. So, any questions on that, about tree trimming? I had reached out to the road agent staying on the trees about the Burke property over on Hilton. Brian was going to look into trying to get somebody to do this. It is tree trimming season, so I think it's taking him a little longer than he expected to find a crew that can come in and do it. It's a big tree. It's going to have to. It's not as big as the Hilton tree that we had taken down. I think it was massive. But it is a sizable tree down here on Hilton that he's aware of, and he's working to get that. I know Mr. Burke has been asking about it, but the road agent has been trying to line somebody up. In addition to, I need to ask Brian about trimming the trees back here.
Because Sue pointed out that the line is down the hill to where it flattens out.
Yep. Yeah, that's all our trees.
We can preclude any damage to
the cruisers or any cars parked in the back.
There's that tree that's about half that we took down the one last year.
Yep.
The one next to it needs to come down as well.
Okay.
When Munch was up there working on the bell tower,
Yeah.
he took down a bunch of broken limbs that were hanging.
Okay.
just so they would fall in.
We'll have Brian look at that. Along that point, I want to thank Munch. We basically replaced and reshingled the Revere Bell steeple in Badger Park. It looks great. Munch also did the repair work here in the town hall. And I want to thank the Newfields Community Fund. They're the ones actually who paid for it, so it's not coming out of the taxpayers' dime. They were very generous in providing the funding for both the steeple and these repairs in town hall. So I want to thank them all. Yes?
Since we're talking trees,
Yeah.
landing tree, I got 2 quotes.
And I'm sure they're massive, much like the tree.
One was what was
$62,000.
No, Seacoast tree was 4,200, urban tree was 3582.
And we can't just drop it in the river.
Please don't. I mean, maybe you can say don't show that figure, I'm not, that would be bad.
And the work that we're talking about is what?
So, I'll give you, it's a red oak, it's huge, 9 inches around. It's cleaning off any branch removal cuts on any reachable dead branches 2 inches diameter. Larger throughout the entire crown, so there's a lot of things overhanging.
But it's all maintenance.
It's all maintenance,
Okay.
and then the big cost is installing a cable system in the tree, because it's 3-pronged.
Yep.
And in the center, it's slide, and after all these big windstorms, you can visibly see it's
Are they gonna wrap it with cable, or are they gonna?
up high.
Okay.
They're gonna wrap it.
Can I request that you send those quotes to us in the town?
Yes.
So that we can review and again, have some conversations about this.
I got 2, and I think the last time we talked about it, you said you were gonna reach out to Brian.
Yeah, because who's used, is it Bouchard, is that it?
I'm not sure. Again, whoever took down that Hilton tree,
That was Bouchard.
yeah, they did a really good job with that, actually.
Cleaned it up very nicely.
Yeah, and they were very efficient. So, anyway, if you can send those, that way we'll have to look at that and make some
You
determinations.
definitely want to get that done before Memorial Day.
A lot of things need to get done. Anything else on trees? Way too much.
Did you guys see it when they did the tree in the Hilton deal?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody drive a truck across the field?
No, so that was something different.
Okay,
The old Peasley House, that is basically a catty corner from Sam Burchell's. They had a bunch of basically dead maples that were along, extending into the property. And it was difficult for them to get, because they were big, it's difficult for them to get trucks around their house. So they asked me, and I talked to the Hilton, the sellers, about allowing those trucks access across, and they granted that permission to let them on one day haul those out.
You know, 'cause the state wouldn't do this because
Yeah.
they're in or inside the store wall.
Yeah, and on private property.
Yeah, the state said even though it's taken over the highway, we're not touching it.
All right, so, there was an audit questionnaire that we talked about last time, and I think I gave it to Mike to review.
I think we'll.
I'll ask him, because you're gonna have to look at the audit questionnaire now that you're on the board. It's, our auditors require the select board to identify whether there's any issues of conflict of interest, fraudulent behavior, anything like that on the board, or within the town. Do we suspect, that the treasurer is stealing money? And so it's a questionnaire. You'll be able to review it, and then it asks actually for some information about you as well as part of their audit for the upcoming year. So I'll see if I can get that back from Mike and address that. Other new business? Other open items? Yeah.
Just kind of a quick question representing the road project team. Michael, you've been our contact person up until.
Yes, yeah, I know Lynette I talked to Lynette today.
So we're just, the reason I asked is we have some quickly upcoming deadlines that we have to hit, so just in order to streamline the process, reaching out and asking who becomes our contact person.
Yep. So, we'll have to put this formally on the agenda for the next meeting to grant authority, but I'm glad you raised this because it slipped my mind about addressing this. So, last year, the board voted for me to take the lead on addressing the grant proposals and acting as a board representative and have the authority to sign those in lieu of the fact that it's always timely, and therefore you can't always wait until the upcoming board meeting. In light of the past election and I think the stuff that was put out there by advocates for the Rugg property about me, in effect calling me a liar, implying I was corrupt, that I had a financial interest in this. Given the statements like that and my request for the advocates to rein that in and nothing was done, I am no longer going to take that lead. I'm not going to do that. So with respect to that, I will step aside to that. We'll have to put this on the agenda for the meeting on Tuesday and have a discussion about who is going to take that process over, but it will not be me. To your point, we'll address it at the next meeting. Fortunately, that's on Tuesday, so we'll get it done relatively quickly.
You're also level towards every board meeting.
Yep, I know, but with what was discussed, I'm not going to take the point on that.
I didn't hear the comment, I'm sorry.
It's also level toward board in general and towards home.
Okay, I see.
Oh, yeah. So thank you for raising that. We'll obviously put it immediately on the agenda and have it addressed. Question?
If I can make a comment on that, I think a lot of it is perception, right? And people will spout off things when they don't have the information in front of them. And I think it's fair enough that if we push this information out at people regularly, there'll be a lot less of that. There'll be a lot less guessing or commenting on things that maybe were erroneous for them to comment on, right? So, and I will do my best to help that along, to make sure that.
I appreciate that, Mark, but to me, this goes beyond erroneous. This goes to a personal attack on me, accusing me of being a corrupt official. I don't care what information you have before you, unless there is actual evidence of that.
Yeah.
It is entirely inappropriate to do that to anybody. I don't care if I have a difference of opinion with an elected official. If I'm going to call them corrupt, I damn well better have evidence to that effect. Otherwise, it's slander. And that is exactly what occurred.
Yeah.
There were accusations that I had a financial interest in not having the Rugg property acquired. And what disappointed me more than anything else was that nobody who was supporting this acquisition said, this is incorrect, this is not how this should be handled, this is not the way to address this. And so, given that, I feel like there is zero reason why I should continue to basically run point and spend my time and effort on something that I still have a tremendous amount of questions on. I'm still going to act as a board member here and make sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and the process is done properly. But I am no longer going to be taking my time, personal time and otherwise, to run lead on this material for the grants. Anything else on that?
I'll jump in on that one. I was subject myself to some of the scurrilous personal attacks from people who accused me of not doing my homework, of not knowing what the facts were, based on simply a difference of opinion. And a difference of opinion is totally acceptable. ad hominem personal attacks are acceptable. You may or may not agree, but the fact is you can do so civilly and respectfully.
Right.
I was taken off one page because I put out some information that was factually accurate to the Nats their error. And I was, that's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
Well, I think, as I mentioned, that if we put this out on a centralized platform, like using the town hall, the town website, on a more regular basis.
Well,
No, wait a minute, you can't do that. You can't use the public resources to advocate for the defeat or support of a warrant article, and that's what we're talking about here.
No.
This was the politics of this issue.
No, just put out the information factually on the site, that's all. So that people can digest it, look at it, and put it out that way. So, that's just my 2 cents on it. You could take it or leave it.
Yes, Ken?
It's my observation that the camera has been on for many of the meetings for which the valid part of the information was discussed. I know Michael, as a board member who is representing the board at the planning board meetings, was well aware of the strengths and failures that came before the planning board. And I'm sure the other members were aware of those things. And it's archived, it's available, it's something people can look at. People didn't or don't want to look at the information that's available.
No, I appreciate it, and to your point, there were numerous public hearings about this. There's numerous discussions about the information. Anybody who wanted to understand either side of the issue had ample opportunity. But again, I think this is less about the information that was put out and available, and more about...
Got person.
Yeah, absolutely, beyond personal, right? This went beyond personal, and as I said, I found it entirely inappropriate, and based upon that, I've made the decision to step aside as the board nominee to shepherd these grant applications. All right, with that, we'll move on. The only thing we have left, I think, are meeting minutes, or do you have something else? Go ahead, shoot.
With new business? You guys still on new business?
Yeah, he's got 2 items, hold on.
I have one, landing, Brian can come down, put some rock down.
More gravel?
Yeah. Can we and him do more?
More gravel?
Yes, finish up.
I have a bunch of things to talk to him about, so I'll add that to the list.
It's not the crushed stone, it's just 3/4 stone.
3/4, the large.
Couldn't tell you how much, but I think I gave, I know you probably gave me a call, I got the drawing down. Did it down there? Right?
Okay.
And then I was down there, and looking at it, and actually George came up to me and said, hey, we're gonna be doing this water, and there's the old culvert. So, you know where this storm drain comes out? I mean, I don't know what George was talking about, but like, he just kind of pointed his area, says, we're gonna be doing some big digging down there. I was like, do you know when? Because I would hate to have it right during our festivities down there.
I'll talk to Brian about that as well.
You said Brian.
Murphy's Law.
Well, I know what's gonna happen right there.
This is
Water
on,
pipe there.
this is on River Road.
Yeah, right in the lane.
Yeah, I know.
So I got the tree, the rocks,
Okay.
that.
I'll talk to him about the whole thing.
They're gonna start at the 20th.
Literally, I know that's gonna happen.
We do have a kayak right
Yeah, we do.
Listen,
So we can kayak around from one side to the other without going to the hole.
They just have to not go down the road, they gotta go over the grass.
Something like that.
Hobie, what else do you have?
We have received 2 letters as a select board in the past week. One from Gerard's on concerns they had on the family.
Oh, yeah, we're
And I'd like
noting.
to address that further at the next board meeting.
Yeah, we'll put it on the agenda for the next board meeting. Just got that one today. Yeah.
And then we received another letter from Mr. Partikian, which I would be glad to draft a response to.
Please do.
And see if we can wrap this up and insert numerous facts into it instead of half-truths.
Okay.
I would say, and errors.
Great.
And going back to your point, Mark, the information's available. It's either coming to the select board meeting, it's either watching it, or it's reading minutes. And there's incumbent upon the citizenry of the town to be engaged. And when they're not engaged, and they're following
Understood.
up on
That's-
half-truth, rumor, innuendo,
Yeah,
that's the issue.
understood. Yeah.
All right, last item we have are minutes from the Monday, March 11th meeting. I don't know if you had a chance to review those. Obviously, you weren't a board member for that meeting.
You want to slide them for maybe this one?
Yeah, we can slide them if you want to do them next time. Great. So we'll defer the meetings for the 11th until the next meeting. And anything else? Yeah, Ken. Thank you, guys.
A little difference of opinion with town attorney as to, I had a request for him to make comments about legal and citing case studies that were in an application to us, because I don't know case law.
So, just so I'm saying what you get, you wanted him, when he gave you an opinion, to give you citations?
No, he didn't, he wouldn't give me an opinion about citations that were in an application.
Citations in an
There's an
application.
application that comes in, it says hardship and whatever case it was, and I don't know what the relevance of that is. So I asked Derek to take a look at it, and he declined. And he had a half-decent reason, but that's from the perspective of a layperson. And it bothered me, so I got hold of the Municipal Association, and I spoke with Steve Buckley. Steve Buckley told me that I should get that opinion from the town attorney on what case law is being cited in an application. And I forwarded it by text message to Derek that the Municipal Association attorney suggested that you are the person to do this for my board. And I haven't heard anything back from that.
Okay.
What reason did Derek give for not wanting to do it? Did he?
Yeah.
Well, the ZBA is a quasi-judicial body within the town.
But this seems just like edification.
He didn't want to like influence the decision. No.
You can pull
He
out a
can
citation.
tell me
the
case
impact.
law and not influence the decision.
Exactly.
So, that's the difference of opinion that I have with
Okay.
our town council at the moment.
So it sounds like you are wanting this board to have a conversation with our town council and ensure that you're able to get the information from them.
Yeah,
That's
and
recommended.
maybe that there's a different law office would be a better choice for municipal. I don't know what the answer to that is. It's just at the moment, hey guys, this is what's happening.
Out of curiosity, and I don't know the answer to this, would the Rockingham Planning Commission in Exeter be able to provide that information?
I don't know the answer to that.
I bet they might be able to, and actually probably from provide a
Yeah,
very independent review.
yeah.
Do you want me to reach out to them, or do you want to?
I am not familiar with the organization.
Okay. If you can forward to me
Yeah.
the information that you're looking for, I'll have a conversation with them tomorrow to try to.
It's basically Mr. Ward's application.
Mhm.
The case law that's cited in Mr. Ward's application.
Which one is Ward's?
Yeah.
The one down there on Pleasant.
Foundation.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's expanded from that.
You have my email, right? If not, I'm gonna give you my email.
Yeah.
If you send that to me, I'll have a conversation, I just met with the planning, Parking and Planning a couple weeks ago. So they're familiar with my face right now, so I come in Honda. It's MCS for Michael Charles Sanu, and Sanu and Russ.
Okay, thank you.
So if you send it to me, well, and if that doesn't work, send it to my town email, either way. I'll have a conversation with them tomorrow and see if that's an avenue. If not, I'll have a conversation with Derek. If that doesn't work, we'll find a legal counsel that can do it.
Yeah, because that's something that
Yep.
in the past, I may have asked for it, not gotten it, and maybe it didn't make much of a difference. This time I foresee this case as being a pivotal case in what happens in the
Setting precedent for future.
Oh, without a doubt.
One of the
For everything in the village.
One of the things I'd offer on this is that it's a frequent trick to throw citations in. I'm not saying that transpired, but it implies gravitas in the position you're advocating. Look, I've got all these cases where it says that maybe one sentence, but the whole case. It's a slippery slope, because they go, oh, there's citations here, so it must be true. So I think.
Oh, yeah, I'm not buying that.
Well,
These
that's what I'm
cases
saying.
might not have any relevance to
I
fully support
The facts of this case.
Yeah, I fully support what the board on this.
Yep. No, and look, I think it's a legitimate question.
I've sometimes felt that perhaps our council wasn't the best person, as in the municipal side of the equation.
I understand.
You need a fair, balanced, neutral assessment of what you're saying, at you, what they're throwing at you.
Oh, yeah. And it seems like the municipal side has decided it's been losing, in my opinion, all too frequently.
We'll get the information.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, this is actually, it's a pretty important piece for the town to address.
I mean, there's some folks.
One way or the other.
It's not, geez, it's not much. Well, it is.
Yeah, it has long-term implications, without a doubt. Thanks. Any other business to come before the board? No? All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:28 p.m.
Second.
Second by Hobie. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
One down.
You have to get your policies in.
I,